Hey, hey, everyone. Forgive my tardiness. Ooh, I just ain't a spring chicken like I used to be. Nap. Y'all know I keep it real. I tell it like it is. I'm letting everyone into the conversation right now as we speak. Like I said, forgive me for my tardiness. My alarm did not go off like I intended for it to, but I'm here now and I'm doing what I need to. Hold on one second. Oh, hold on. Okay. So, looks like one of my channels for Facebook has gone away. So, I'm going to have to do it like this to be able to get Facebook in the room. Hang on, y'all. Okay, okay. Hello, hello, Facebook friends and peeps. Sorry about that. I didn't realize that in my streaming platform that my Facebook channel had gone away. And I do apologize for being late hopping on today. So we just gonna go ahead and get right into it. Normally I would give y'all, a beautiful description and all that, but I'm late. So let's go. Tonight on the Sunday sit down with yours truly, Nicole LaTreece. I'm still gonna welcome y'all because the whole purpose is to welcome y'all into this space called the Sunday Sit Down with yours truly, Nicole LaTreece. It is a space, it's a podcast, it's an environment dedicated to exploring the nuances of personal development, relationships, and the journey to self improvement. If you are joining me tonight, please say hello to your girl. Let me know where you are watching me from. And yeah, I want to make sure that I'm able to connect with each and every one of you who's deciding to join me tonight and who's decided to join me every night. So tonight we are talking about it's time to grow. I don't know about y'all. Move this over just a little bit. I don't know about y'all, but in life, life has forced me to be able to see, to recognize, to understand that there are pivotal moments, there are micro moments where it's time to grow up. For some of y'all, and I'ma say it like you need to hear it. It's time to grow the F up. Like what we are choosing to do as a people, what we are choosing to do as a society, it's not enough anymore. It's not good enough anymore. Like we are turning into that society that's like, y'all remember y'all parents used to say, do as I say, not as I do. But as kids, which some of y'all are still, we look at everything that everybody does as a means and as a measure to figure out, like, okay, well, this person said this, but their actions aren't supporting this. Or this person does this. I don't understand why they're doing it, but I can't get the words to be able to figure out, you know, why is this person doing what it is they're doing. That's the whole purpose of tonight's conversation. Growth comes in all kinds of different ways. Y'all know me, I like to break stuff down to where you're able to start to put certain aspects of the growth that I'm referring to specifically and apply it to your life. So, growth. What is growth? Where can growth occur? Growth can be in your personal life, it can be in your professional life, it can be in your spiritual life, it can be in your relationship life, it can be in how you parent your kids. Growth has no limits. And if y'all are anybody who likes me, who is like me or rocks with me, Like, you should explore and invite growth into every area of your life. But personal growth, whatever behavior, 'cause I don't like to, like, and this might be a part of my own level of distraction is not giving things adequate and total names of what it is that it needs to be called. Spade game, established 2024 shirts coming soon. But personal growth, the behaviors that certain people exhibit, doing something different intentionally, different than what you did before. If you are met with a point in your life to where you're like, man, how I used to be, the things I used to say, the way that I used to feel, how I used to operate, like that ain't what's up. I need to do something different. I personally don't like how I am, what I say, how I go about things, the fact that I express avoidant behavior, the fact that I am a love addict, the fact that I was parented one way, but how I was parented no longer serves the way I choose to parent my kids. All of that is just a little bit of what could feed into the realm of ways that you want to personally grow. Professional, y'all in y'all jobs, if you're an entrepreneur, anything that you do in the professional capacity, if you want to raise, you got to grow in your skills, you got to grow in your understanding, you got to grow in the formation of the applications. You have to grow in going out and being able to get those clients or those customers that it is that you seek. All of that requires personal growth. The one of the biggest ones that would, in my opinion, lead to a really good space of good growth is spiritual growth. Now, notice I said spiritual. Whatever your spiritual practice is, that's on you. This conversation is not here to tell anyone that how they choose to believe, what it is that they feel like, they want to be on, that any of that is wrong. If you Catholic, if you Hindu, if you Buddhist, if you Baptist, if you Pentecostal, if you Episcopalian, if you are Rastafarian, whatever your spiritual belief is, to a certain extent and it's a certain degree, that's on you. But it whatever spiritual practice it is that you're going to choose to follow, to participate in, to um exude, there should be a level of personal growth. Growth to me, if I had to try to put it into a specific term, if you will, or anything like that, growth to me is the intentional pursuit of a deeper understanding of the very thing that is a part of your life, right? A intentional pursuit of a deeper understanding of whatever area it is, personal, professional, relationship, parental, spiritual, whatever that area is that you want to grow in, you have to, I feel, intentionally pursue the deepest understanding that you can while you're here. Because being on that pursuit and allowing yourself to go through the space of growth, there's a lot of benefit that comes from intentional pursuit of your growth. Like, I want to ask y'all something, and this is like a question that I really be asking people when I see that they're just intent on staying exactly who they are, the way that they went about things. Like, what is it going to hurt you to actually allow yourself to grow? What is it already hurting you, or what is it already costing you with the fact that you are not choosing to grow? What is the quality of life that you really feel that you're leading? It can't be a fulfilled life The way God designed this is for us to be evolutionary creatures, right? So therefore, if we are evolutionary creatures, evolution in the midst of evolution, it ain't nothing but growth. Like, I love y'all. If I know y'all in real life, like, yeah, I rock with y'all. I want the best for y'all. I want God's best for you. It ain't even about what I feel is best. Because, yes, depending on the level of engagement that we're having, depending on the level of intention I have when it comes to my pursuit of connection with you, I'm going to have an opinion. If you are exhibiting unkind ways, I'll tell you and be like, well, so and so, this is you're not the kindest person that you think that you are. And I'll say it with love. If you're not exhibiting good behavior, mm, well, like you didn't have goodness in your heart that you led with when you decided to do that very thing. When you tell me something, but you do something different, it sound good. But what you told me is what I have to start with. What you actually do beyond what you've told me is what I really look at. That lets me know the level of growth that it is that you're intentional, whether consciously or subconsciously. It don't matter. A lot of y'all be moving out here unconsciously, not realizing that you have told certain people certain things, and those people start to at, look look towards the level of growth that you said that you were wanting to be on, but then you don't do anything to actually pursue the level of growth that you need to be on. Cool. The verse of the day on my Bible app this morning, God is good, said, "A house divided cannot stand." We are, in the biblical sense, houses. There's an automatic division that happens when it comes to there's so many ways I could equate this to you guys. There's a natural division that automatically comes from our mind and our hearts. Our mind doesn't do or it doesn't perform in the same manner in which our heart does. And the same is true vice versa. Then you have the standpoint of our will versus God's way. If we as humans, the very thing that God created, the very thing that God loves, he loved us so much that he gave us the opportunity to have free will. It's still within the confines of his way. And if we are engaging in behavior, if we are engaging in communication, if we are engaging in like just those humanly things that go against his way, we are going against his growth. He naturally designed us to grow. I'm 41. I came into this world as an infant. There's a lot of growth that ended up happening between my birth and me being 40, almost 41 now at the sound of this at the time of this recording, the time of this conversation, right? I'm not by nature the same person I was as an infant, as a toddler, as an adolescent, as a young adult, as a grown a woman right now. I'm not the same person that I was throughout all of those phases I had to grow. I'm not the same woman that I was in 2024 that I am in 2025 is when this is this conversation is happening because of all the things that I was met with and had to grow as a result of it. My um, biggest thing that I will say that I am proud of for myself as far as my level of growth in 2024 was being able to identify that I, at 40, was afforded the opportunity to understand really. I got the clarity on what I was feeling when it came to the end of my marriage. I felt abandoned. And God was like, okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of strength. I'm going to let you not allow yourself to sit in this feeling, in this moment of being. I'm going to let you find the strength to exhibit your will. And I say it like this because I had a conversation with one of my best friends actually the other day. I am divorced, and he was like, well, do you think God is appreciative, or do you think he's happy about the fact that you are divorced? I don't fully look at it, like, from that standpoint, because it's just like God knows that I am, and he's gonna feel however he's gonna feel in regards to the parameter that my friend is trying to put it in, but he still loves me at the end of the day. That was a choice I made, um, which was my will, right? I didn't want to be happy. I mean, I didn't want to not be happy, sorry. I didn't wanna be in a position to where, like, based on what had happened in the situation, what had happened in the marriage, the culmination of everything that I had experienced led me to feel uncomfortable. And I'm not saying I just got out of it willy-nilly. I did what I could within the unknown space, within the lack of knowledge that I needed to be able to facilitate, okay, I tried. I really did. But something still just is not right. And it wasn't necessarily as a result of the experience that had occurred with my ex-husband. It was already there. It was just awakened. It was just spoken to me or shown to me on the correct frequency to be able to recognize, hey, there's something going on that was growing, ironically, without me even knowing. It had been there. It had taken root. The foliage was there and touched a specific space to where it's just like, "Ping, all right, we're feeling this." I was able to understand and recognize that I felt abandoned. Right? So marriage comes to an end. I relocate back home, 589 miles away. And the feeling still didn't go 100% away. Hey, Derek. Hey, Bowman Tree. Hey, Jay Prince. Hey, everyone who's decided to come in and join me. Like I said, I know I started late. I'm sorry. Forgive me. But I knew that I couldn't live in a space of feeling abandoned, right? And I was able to recognize initially in a romantic setting with my ex-husband, this is how I'm feeling, right? So when I sit down with myself and I actually kind of started to do a little bit of the awakening work that I needed to do before I even sought out therapy this go round. I needed to figure out where exactly did this come from? Because if it hit me so strong in the my marriage 5 years before I actually got a divorce, this is what came about. Like, this was my understanding. But I know the word, and I know that it is not my ex-husband's fault. There is something that was there before I even met him. I had to sit with myself and let God reveal to me exactly where it was coming from, right? Like, now we're going through, talking about some of the different challenges of growth. Sometimes challenges in growth can come from your thought process. We don't want to believe that we actually need to grow as a result of, or some of y'all believe you shouldn't have to grow as a result of the things that you've experienced. You're a lie. That's exactly where you come up to that fork in the road of growth. Some of you are comfortable with just saying it, but not exhibiting any action behind actually needing to grow to get where it is that you need to get to, or to stop being the individual that you're currently being that's no longer serving you. Some of you won't take action in order to be able to actually get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Growth is very uncomfortable. It's I certain moments I hate it, right? But I had to allow myself to go through it. So back to my story. I identified abandonment is the word. Ain't no sugarcoating it, ain't no other way to say it. I identified that it is not my ex-husband's fault. I had to allow myself and God the space to be able to really um reveal, to really bring out of me what it is that I am feeling exactly and why this is hitting me like it is. It stems from my dad's absence in my life. So, to any of the fathers out there, really take stock and evaluate how it is that maybe you need to grow more, maybe you need to grow better, maybe you need to really start to take stock and take value of exactly how grown you are within your daughter's lives. You can't always control um, 100% of the situation because it takes two to have a baby. It takes a mother and a father. At 40, when I was having this awakening, I don't have the opportunity to engage with my father just about my understanding, my earthly father, of, hey, like, this is how these things, even though it's like I feel conflicted about giving passes even in my understanding. Even though there are varying degrees of his absence, how it was facilitated, and, just overall him not being in my life, I'm not looking to go there. Even if my dad was here and I could talk to him about it, I'm not passing blame. It is what it is. There's nothing that I can do to change my mom and my dad's past. By the time I was one, they were divorced, right? So, but it still had an impact on me. And now there's more information that has come out as far as the behaviors that both parents participated in, exhibited, grew to. So, this is it's my call to fathers first, because I am a daughter, I am a woman, I am a female who has been affected later on in life by my dad's absence in my life. But the weird part of all of it is it started with my dad, and it transformed, or it metamorphed into feeling abandoned in a romantic, intimate setting. How does that even happen? Like, when it this was a challenge in my understanding, it's just like, Lord, that's kind of weird, right? Like, my dad's not in my life, but I'm not looking for a dad in my relationship space, cuz you know what I'm saying? Like, in in therapy and in cognitive understanding, we as humans later on in life as adults, we seek out a lot of the stuff that we felt like we didn't have that held a certain space of significance at a younger understanding in life. So, like, they say that there are some women out here that are looking for dads as an adult, and they find it in their husbands, or they end up looking at their husbands as that because they didn't have their fathers in their lives. There are some guys who don't know how to treat women the best, who don't value women as the other half of their line of and to creation because of an example that they saw earlier in their lives. Like, if you're 41 and you're not serious about how you need to maneuver in life, male or female, but especially male. Cause like, I want my people, I want my relationships. And if y'all are in a relationship, I consider it my relationship. I want my relationships with people to be and to get better always. If you're always seeking growth, your relationships should always get better. If you are a male who has daughters, if you are a male who is interacting with a woman who has daughters, and you are not treating women the best, you're still setting a certain type of example. You're still setting to an inferior mind. Take that how you want it. I'm specifically talking about little girls. You're still showing them without confirming to them that it's okay for a man to treat you any type of way because that's what you're showing to their mother, right? Everything ain't gonna be perfect. Everything ain't gonna be hunky dory, but we have to put ourselves in a position to where we start looking at the level of accountability that we are on and that we are um essentially putting other people on. I can't tell you what to do with your life. I can speak on it. You can receive it and you can want to maybe improve or adjust. I'm not going to use that word change because some of y'all out there is like, I shouldn't have to change because of somebody else. You should have to grow. You should want to grow because of someone else. And if you don't want to be comfortable where you are, you have that right by all means, but leave the rest of us alone. Because if I'm engaging with you, if I am intentional about connecting with you, I've already reached a certain place of growth. Mama, I'm on right now. You're gonna have to call me back. I've already reached a certain level of growth, sorry y'all, from my own previous single space to now want to engage with male energy. And this is a part of my real life story. All right, cool. I'm opening myself up. I am growing into this place of discomfort because I have this was my thinking at that time. We've evolved from there to a certain extent. I still got abandonment issues. But my thing is I don't live in them now the same way I did before. So Derek says, "How do you feel about the art of disagreeing or arguing, especially in front of your child?" Disagreements are going to come. They are going to happen, Derek. How you go about it is the example that you need to have in mind, I feel, when it comes to how you interact in those moments when your child is around. And I can say that because I remember there was a time where, in my conflict with my ex husband, the father of my daughter, We were trying to, like, keep it away from her, right? It was a heated argument, never anything physical, we're not those type of people. But we were arguing, and in just our understanding of we don't want to put our child through what, kinda our parents went through or anything like that. Like, we were in the closet, right? In our room in the closet. But the thing is everything still got so heated, so loud, caused such a disruption that our daughter ran in the room, came in the closet, and stood in between us. And it took us a little minute to stop going at one another. She's still in that small little moment. She still experienced the very thing that we said we didn't want to expose her to. Because she came in the room, because God interjected through her, that's the way I received it. We were able to, like, just stop. I don't even remember if we went back to the conversation or whatever the case may be, but we stopped. So if it is the type of situation, you can show your child what it looks like for two people to, in communication, in intentional communication, not think the same way, not look at things with the same perspective. Kids should be able to see that and see that it's okay to feel how you feel. We as adults, when that passion starts to arise, when we're getting to the cusp and beyond of being in our feelings, that's what takes us to a whole different place. I still have my challenges with my daughter's father. I still have moments where it's like we blow up. She ain't nowhere around neither one of us at this time. And it's like, over the phone, and we pick designated times where she's not around either one of us. But the energy is still there. So I'd ask you, Derek, if you have experienced any moments where you felt that you have had difficulties being able to maintain your energy when it comes to a disagreement or an argument. Never argue. People argue because their passion and their feelings come into the situation, and it's a human thing. I'm not knocking anybody from it. Y'all just heard my whole story. Like, I did it. But what I've learned as a result of all of those times where I've exhibited that behavior, that all of your behavior, it essentially equates to energy. The energy that you put out into the world, it ripples out to everything you touch, every person you come into contact with, every person you encounter beyond that. So if you're arguing with the child's mother, who else are you arguing with? And if you're choosing not to argue with other people, then it's why is it that you're willing to argue with the mother of your child? Derek, that's cool. By no means. I'm not trying to put anyone's business on my Sunday sit down. But that is also a goal. That is a passion. That is the purpose of why I do the Sunday sit down. So people can have a comfortable space, even saying, "Hey, like, I've experienced this. I know you talked about it. Can we talk about it sometime together? Not here on public, in public." Okay, cool. Derek, send me a DM. We will figure out time, space, and opportunity to connect to be able to talk about this further so you feel safe and you feel comfortable. As for me, I live in the space of feeling uncomfortable all the time. Like, because that means anytime I'm feeling uncomfortable, anytime I'm feeling any sort of discomfort, it's my job to uncover why am I feeling so comfortable? Because whatever I'm feeling uncomfortable and discomfortable with, That means I gotta pursue that thing as a means to not be uncomfortable. And the only way Imma stop being uncomfortable is realize that I'm being called to a space of growth. Y'all, it's time to grow up. Ain't nothing about this world changing until we have more people that decide to change their world for the betterment of them, for the betterment of their lives, for the betterment of the future lives that we bring into this world. Whether you're in the space of actually being with the other parent to your child, whether you are in a situation like mine where you're like really having to figure out co-parenting because there's so much growth that's coming. My daughter is 10, she's going through puberty. That first experience of womanhood is right around the corner. She's growing. Both her dad and I have to support her in this season of growth that her body is naturally going through, right? But our body as a family, albeit a broken family, is still a family nonetheless. Perspective is everything. It does not like I don't know, I just wish more people kind of thought like me. Yes, from a societal standpoint, I grew up in a broken family. I am a product of a broken family, and I now have participated to a certain extent in breaking a family myself. Now that I have that level of awakening, now that I have that level of understanding, now that I have gone through the uncomfortable space of saying, Nicole, you broke some things. Now it's time to figure out, okay, how can I repair or can I repair what has been broken? If it's something that cannot be repaired and I'm the one that broke it, okay, I release me and I release whatever that broken thing is over to God and I let Him handle it. Yes, I played my part. Yes, I'm holding myself accountable. Yes, I'm okay saying I participated in breaking it. I was broken to a certain extent without knowing it before I jumped into the situation, which became broken in its own. This ain't what I'm about to say next. It's not a if I had known then. It's not that, oh my God, why did I do it? I didn't know. I operated to the best of my ability in that moment. But now knowing what I know, I have the opportunity to expand my horizons. If I had realized the weight, because last week we talked about take the weight off. This is one of these weights that I was telling y'all I've taken off. I'm aware of it. I can pick it up to look at it, hold it, whatever the case may be. Now it's a trophy. What was once a weight for me is now a trophy. Me understanding now that I've dealt with or experienced abandonment issues for so long. Now I'm no longer broken by my abandonment. I am now operating in a space. Hey, Brittany, I'm operating in a space now to where it is, I am bruised still by my abandonment. Because if you think about a body being broken, if there's any bone or anything that you have broken, there is a bruise that comes within the healing process. Me being a love addict, me being sorry, y'all. Facebook getting it today. Me being broken by my abandonment, I realized I had to go through a process of recovery. I had to go through a process of healing. I had to go deeper into my space of abandonment in order to make sure that as I am intentional about climbing out of that abandonment hole, as I am intentional about climbing out of that abandonment grave, that there is nothing, one, that can pull me back into it, two, that there is as much dirt up off of me as I can possibly get off of me, and three, that that grave is sealed up. It's just like a wound. Abandonment issues is a wound. I had to tend to the wound. I had to get the care that I needed in Dr. Pons, my previous therapist that helped me work through this situation. I had to go deeper. I had to get in there. And he said this to me time and time again. I miss Dr. Pons. But when you have a wound, depending on the level and the grade of the wound, sometimes you got to clean that wound out. And whatever you need in order to clean that wound out, for my abandonment issues, growth was the antiseptic that I needed to be able to clean that wound fully out. It's still in the process of actually healing. I would even go so far as to say for mine, like, I don't have a big gauze bandage on it anymore because it has had the space and the opportunity to heal, but it's not fully healed. Like, if I'm not intentional about protecting it, if I'm not intentional about putting the metaphorical neosporin on this wound that is healing, I or someone else can inadvertently pull this wound open. I can cause more damage again. I can cause irreparable damage. I'm not willing to play with any part of my emotional body because you guys can see my physical body. A lot of y'all have, been able to get in touch with a little bit of the depths of how my mind works, how far it goes. There are some small yet fortunate few who have been able to really see me, experience my mind, experience my healing, experience my heart, and how that deeper level of Nicole actually works, what it looks like. But there is that deeper level of Nicole, right? That is my growth. That is what my growth looks like in me, in my practice, and in being, mindset elevation coach and coming and talking to y'all on this platform. I'm willing to share whether you take something from it or you don't, whether it helps you or it doesn't, whether it awakens something in you or it doesn't. I I really I care, but I don't care. I'm still going to give you the truth within my growth. I'm the type of person, and I literally mean this. People can ask me whatever it is that they want to ask me, and I will answer it. But in everything that you ask me, there is a level of something that is deeper, that if you really want it, you really got to make it known that you want it because there's growth that comes in engaging in being a part of the experiences that it is that I share with you guys. Right now, everybody on here, everybody on Instagram, everybody on YouTube, y'all not knowing it or maybe not intentionally have taken the first step to your level of growth. Listening to my journey, listening to my insight, listening to where I am at my level of understanding, there is a part of you that is now forever changed. And sometimes it may be on a delayed change. But because you're listening to this, because you come back each and every Sunday, because you engage with me in real life, because you trust me in my vulnerability and in my level of accountability and in the truth that it is that I live. I really, really try to live it. I am intentional, just like He is, He being God. I'm just not, I can't operate on the same level that He did, but I am created in His image. I want to grow as much as I can to um participate in my level of my Jesus walk as much as I can. That comes from growth. Any place that you feel like you are experiencing a deficit in, whether it's your own personal struggles, whether it is such as Derek and such as, some of the rest of us, it's in the parental space. Parental being both ways, the way you parent your child or you having to parent your child, and some of you are having difficulties with your parental relationship with your parent as an adult. I've been there. I don't judge you. I don't knock you for it. Grow. Maybe it is in for my people who are relationally challenged, my people who are love addicts, searching and seeking for love in all the wrong places, looking for love in all the wrong faces. Y'all, if you haven't heard the song, that's uh his name just escaped me. White country singer. It's true though. I've been a love addict. I know what it is to want someone to facilitate this grandiose level of love, fill this space, fill this grave, fill the desire for someone to pull me up out of this grave in love. You're not willing to, as a love addict, if you're not willing to pull your own self up out of that grave, you gonna let somebody pull you up out of yours and right into theirs. For everything, there is an opposite. I just talked about love addicts. Now I'm talking to my love avoidant people. It's too many of y'all in this world. It's too many of y'all choosing intentionally for whatever reason not to grow in love, to continue to run away from it, to continue to avoid it, to continue to ensue like chaos wherever it is that you go, because you're avoiding whatever level of growth you've come to at that fork in the road. Last year, my analogies was all about water and how things ripple out and they go out. When water goes out, it comes back in, and sometimes you can't see the muck of what you're bringing back in that analogy. This year, I really feel like I'm being called to talk about this fork in the road because that's what life is. It is a walk forward, but you consistently come up to various forks in the road as you're making your way to your eternal destination. Hey, Leanne, y'all. I love that girl. Like, that is my girl, and how we met and how we're so connected right now. Like, Leanne, I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Um, Life is just a consistent pursuit of forks in the road. When you're dealing with another individual, that's a whole fork in the road. Like, I'm living my own life. I'm going through my own challenges. I'm doing my own thing. I'm making my own money. I'm, pursuing the things that make me happy. And then I come across your energy. And then me coming across your energy is just like, oh, snap. All right. I'm at a fork in the road. I'm either going to entertain the pursuit of your energy, or I'm going to try to stay on the same level of what it is that I was already doing. For all my love addicts, stop. My love avoidance, stop feeling so comfortable with doing what it is that you were already doing. Because if you were fully comfortable, if you had done the real growth to get comfortable in that space, you wouldn't be seeking out other people. You can't want somebody in your life, whether it is to just have relations with them, just have conversation with them, to actually want to be with somebody if you're still engaging in avoidant behavior. But before I go too far, that's going to be next month. We're going to talk about love addicts and love avoidance. Life is a consistent set of forks in the road. What are you going to do at each fork that you come to? What level of growth are you going to pursue when you come up against choices? We face choices every day. From every choice should be a decision. But some of y'all out here is still just making choices and it's not enough. It's time to grow up. Whatever level of growth you need, the signs are around you. You have people in your lives that live unlike you do. There's nothing wrong with sometimes the way you choose to live, but if you find yourself noticing more, and this ain't no materialistic thing, this goes deeper than that. If you find yourself noticing more, well, dang, the way Nicole engages in talking to her daughter, like she doesn't try to yell at her, like she makes her walk in her responsibility. She illustrates or illuminates what her daughter is not doing that she feels is not the best choice. Because when my daughter does and doesn't do, like I don't put it in the scope of she's wrong. She made a choice. Now we need to understand either the ramifications or the um, perspective that comes with you came up to a fork in the road, you made this decision. This decision did not lead to good results, depending on the situation. Let's figure out how the next time you come to that fork in the road, because we are. Let's make a better decision instead of continuously making choices. I just want to say thank you to everyone who came on, joined me, Derek, Brittany, Jay Robinson, Leanne, Boomin' Tree. I got my Instagram people too. Bracy, J Prince 11, Miss Diva 1129. Like it matters and it means a lot for each and every one of you to take time, not just today, but your time period to come and connect with me and to just sit and observe or sit and listen to sit and absorb what it is that I'm feeling comfortable to talk to each and every one of you about. Because if I'm going through it, if I'm experiencing it, if it's a part of my thought process, then maybe it's a part of somebody else's real life. And like I said, any relationships that y'all are going through, they my relationships. I want my relationships, your relationships, our relationships. I want them to get better. It's not enough for them to be where and how they are. It's just not. In Tulsa, it's a hard takeaway, sorry. In Tulsa, but it's about our relationships getting better. In Tulsa, if you look down at the bottom for my Facebook people, I will have to go in and actually put it on here as a message. But there is an initiative, I believe it's by the Phoenix Coalition, where they are trying their best to be able to get a credit union established, built, and operating in North Tulsa. We need to get our financial wellness together. We need to grow as a people. We need to grow better when it comes to our financial health and our financial wellness. And I'm saying this too because Like, the Lord has moved so many things around for me. He has brought so many things. Let me just say this real quick. So, it is you go to, North Tulsa CFCU. That's North Tulsa CFCU, and it is a survey, quick little survey. All it's wanting to uncover, they need to gather information to be able to see how people go about their banking processes, what services it is that people are actually looking for and could actually benefit from, to be able to turn. I think they said they need 500 signatures or 500 surveys to be completed, something around that number, and I'll get with them again. Um, but they just need this information to be able to turn it over to the organization that is going to allow them to be able to build and operate a credit union. Sorry, my mind. I'm thinking about the same thing, how I'm talking about a credit union, how some people's emotional currency ain't enough to like, it's not good in my emotional credit union. I said this a long time ago, but anyways, I digress. We have to start figuring out the ways where in our own community, a lot of people don't wanna look at the world as a whole. A lot of people don't wanna look at anything beyond their own family to be able to see the level of growth that they need to be on, and for me, that's very unfortunate because I interact with other people's families every day. The people that I work with at the pharmacy, the people that I come in contact with at the bank that I bank at, the people who will be owning and operating North Tulsa Federal Credit Union, sorry, the people who are helping to raise our children in these schools. We are always interacting with somebody else's family. But because we're on a level of stifled growth, I feel like we can't even grow to see that we're all one big family to a certain extent, and if you don't want to give space to that, start with your own family. Whatever you qualify, classify, designate as your own family, start facilitating the level of growth that your family needs in order to be able to have a better legacy. Legacy is all I'm about. Legacy is the thing that's gonna make this world what it is. But if I'm not growing in my legacy, if I'm not growing my legacy, then it's gonna continue to be the same. I'm so looking forward to February because it's just like I like to talk to people from the standpoint of their own like personal and intentional development. But next month is the month of love. It should always be about love, but a lot of you knookers is finna, activate into your lovey-dovey phase. And myself and some other people are going to come and talk to you about the different ways, the different journeys, the different mindsets, like a different kind of love. And we are intentional about it. Like February the 16th, it's already confirmed. My girl Shantae Nicole is coming back to join me on the Sunday sit down. And our specific conversation is going to be dating after divorce. Because this dating pool right now, oh man, y'all are trash. Ain't nobody really trying to do much of nothing. Ain't nobody willing to like really humble themselves, fight themselves really for the person that is meant to come in their lives. And I say that with a smile because I told y'all I got fumbled. Right? Like, but the fact that I can smile, the fact that I can laugh about it, like, I'm not doing that to mask the pain. There is no pain anymore. I am the type of person I'm smiling, I'm laughing because I know my worth. I know what I bring. I know what people have lost out on when it comes to the direct correlation to me and my love and their love for me. Like, baby, once it's gone, it's gone, like, and I ain't worried about it coming back to you. You gonna try to make it come back, but that's neither here nor there. We gonna save that conversation, for next month. But yeah, just make sure I ask you, I challenge you, I implore you, come back and join me every Sunday on the Sunday sit down, right? Because this space is for y'all just as much as it is for me. But whatever you need to get out of this space, I commend Derek for coming in and sharing a little bit, like asking the question about arguing in front of your child. It's a lot of us that argue in front of our children. If everybody doing it, that still don't make it right. We should still want to do something in order to not perpetuate the cycle of arguing in front of our kids. Having a conversation, bringing it to the light, doing it in front of the camera, doing it in real life, having that conversation. It's a beautiful thing, and I love it. I love being able to do it each and every Sunday. So I am looking forward to all the great things that are to come. I'm not gonna lie, I don't recall what next week's episode is gonna be like, and I know that's really bad. I should have it like in my little notes. But y'all gonna be surprised just like I'm gonna be surprised. But I hope that you really make the opportunity to come back and join your girl next Sunday here on the couch on the Sunday sit down with yours truly, Nicole LaTreece. I love each and every one of y'all, and I swear it's my intention that one conversation at a time, we gonna change these relationships. We gonna grow, we gonna get better, and we gonna make this thing better than how it was that it was handed down to us. So until next time, I wish y'all a very good life filled with real love and all of the above. Y'all have a good one. And until next time.